Hi, Linda Bowen here from StampingWithLinda.com, your cardiologist since 1997, helping you create cards from the heart. Today is a video to show you some of the fun new products in the new catalog. I shared a couple days ago a video that Stampin Up did with the embossing paste and the pattern party decorative masking, but I wanted to show you how I made my card. Just another little tip with that set. I'm going to bring in a grit paper, and also I'm going to go ahead and stamp before I use the masking, so that way I know where I want the masking to be. This stamp comes from the Ribbon of Courage stamp set, and I'm just going to stamp that on the top. It says, "With faith, all things are possible." So I'm just going to stamp that. Then I'm going to bring in that masking or pattern, and I'm just going to make sure I've got that lined up, and I'm going to bring in my embossing paste. Now, it does not take a lot of embossing paste. I am finding that I'm liking this flat spatula type tool, and I'm just going to take that. And you don't, like I said, need a lot, but I'm just going to run that randomly over that masking. Now, the secret thing to do now, I'm going to hold that up, isn't it so pretty, is to make sure that you have a damp cloth or something to remove that paste from your tools. So what I have found that I like to do several sheets of the patterns, and then I can use them whenever I want. That way, while I have my tools dirty, just do several at the same time. So I've kind of, have that really clean. I'm going to set that aside. I am wondering if I have my embossing gun over here. I do not. So it takes just for a second for that to dry, maybe a couple seconds. So we're just going to set that aside. The next thing I want to show you is from the dies from the Move It bundle. These dies are the butterflies. Now, the butterflies you don't use when you use the window, like I did on the video on Tuesday. But these butterfly Thinlits are really pretty neat. I'm considering them a two-step die set. I'm going to go ahead and remove that precision plate. I'm just going to use my clear mats. I'm going to put the outline butterfly down, and then I'm going to put the other one inside. So it's kind of like a two-step die, similar to that Eastern Palace Suite dies that we can layer different things into. Now, because that inside of that butterfly is a little detailed, I'm going to go ahead and run it back and forth a couple times because I want to make sure that that cuts well. And I always recommend when you do something that is a little more detailed to just turn it around and see. I don't think that all of them are cut through, so I'm going to just place it in a different position. Sometimes when your cutting mats get bowed or whatever, you may not get as good a coverage. I see I do not have my Big Shot brush over here, but we're going to go ahead and just pop that out. So it does the outline and the little antennas, and then the little pieces. So you have a detailed butterfly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back in here. Now this is a little bit tacky still, but we're going to see if we can't make it work. What I'm going to do with mine, I'm going to take the smoky slate. Stampin' Up! Showed on their video. Now I'm going to have a link at the top. The eye at the top will take you to my blog post, and I'll have a link to that video that Stampin' Up! Did. They added re-inker within their embossing paste. I'm just going to use a dauber. If you're watching on YouTube, the link will be at the bottom. So I'm just going to take that dauber, and I'm not going to rub too much on this one because, like I said, that is just still a little tacky, but it's giving me some color on those bricks. Now when you do it with the re-inker, you're really mixing it in and you have a solid color, but I am finding when I sponge with the dauber, I get more of a variegated light and dark look and more of a texture of more of what a brick looks like, or what I think it looks like. So there we've got that. I'm going to go ahead and put that card together. This piece of white measured 3 3/4 by 5. My base card is going to be the standard 5.5 by 8.5, scored in half. I'm going to bring in a piece of 4-inch by 5 1/4 black, and I'm going to lay that black down. And I'm going to use dimensionals on this piece. If I have some dimensionals here. Oh, there they are. That way it'll raise it up, and I won't be using my tape runner to push down those blocks, because like I said, they're still just a little bit wet. You wouldn't have that problem if you did several projects at the same time. The only thing is that I really like to stamp whatever I'm going to stamp as a greeting, if I'm doing that first, so that I have a placement. I'm going to bring in the card I did. This is the first one I did, and you'll see that I had gotten the bricks over too far, so it was a little bit harder to stamp that greeting. So if you stamp the greeting first, you won't have that issue. So we've got that, and now we have this elegant butterfly. I'm going to just kind of bend its wings up a little bit and grab a couple glue dots and go ahead and put that to my card. Doesn't get much simpler than that. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.